Happy to be with you again for day 7. I'm forgetting my days of the month. 7th of September, we are celebrating Sketch-tember with different designs, different doodles that you can do every day to increase your free motion quilting skills. Sketching, doodling, practicing on paper is one of the best ways to enhance your free motion quilting skills. Now, obviously, the best way to improve is to sit at the machine or stand at your long arm and actually stitch. Free motion quilting is a skill. You get better with practice, and nothing beats the real thing. But it's always nice to warm up on paper. I like to grab my whiteboard and marker and just get going. So today we have a fairly simple meandering design that I have used in many backgrounds, and I just add a curl to my meandering. So a meander is just a random path anywhere around your quilt. I like to think of puzzle pieces and big saguaro cactus or aliens, dog bones, whatever motif you like to think of to get your meandering going. And then I put a curl on it. So I generally start to the left and then alternate to the right. And hello to the folks in the chat. Thank you so much. I know it's late for half of the world, so catch the replay. Thank you so much. We are going to curl to the left, and it's just like a question mark or a C. And you can see I'm traveling around, and some things to consider when you make your curls. Okay, let's deconstruct this a little bit. I'm traveling along this path and I branch off and I start curling in. So I come about 3/4 of the way around the circle to make that curl. And then I travel back out, but I want to travel back down the stem that I created so that I'm about even with that point of the curl before I go on another way. If I didn't travel back into the stem, I would get funky jars. You know, it wouldn't look like a full curl. So that's fine to have little sprouts off of your meandering. It all depends on the look you want. So I try to curl in and then travel most of the way back. So my stitching line is even with that ending point of the curl before I meander around somewhere. And I tend to get a little, and I'm not alternating quite as well on that design. I tend to get very linear in my stem or my vine. So I really have to work at moving around the space. And when I fill a space, I tend to go horizontal for a little bit, come back, I may fill in, and so it kind of looks like this as I am moving across, and then it gets less and less rigid the more I move and fill in. So all the things we like to consider as we free motion quilt. We want to move around the space and alternate our directions. You can see there that if you get stuck, you can just travel around, but try to remember to alternate which way your curls go. I was ending up curling the same direction in a lot of those. And it really creates better movement, better fill if you alternate, if you're curling to the right and then to the left. Right, and then the left, and then right and left. Okay, some other considerations. Let me get more of my whiteboard in the screen, is how closely you echo that curl. If you can stay right on top of it, you've got a nice defined curl. If you are off a little bit, that's fine. We don't expect perfection. Your curls start looking more like leaves, you know, those little sprout of leaves. So don't worry if your backtracking stitch stays right on the previous stitching line, because that's going to be a beautiful design as well. So have fun. Move around your space and get yourself going with a fun curl, meander, filler stitch. So I hope you have fun practicing. If you have any questions at all about free motion quilting, please leave a comment, drop me an email, and I'll do my best to answer them. I did have a question on prior videos about neck and shoulder strain and back pain when you free motion quilt, and put my supplies away. There are different body positions. You will not be used to maneuvering your quilt. I find myself tensing up as I make certain quilting designs. Some of the pebble motifs, the vibrations in the handles on my long arm sewing machine make my hands ache. So I have to loosen up. I have to, you know, shake it out and try to keep myself relaxed when I am quilting. When you're trying to maneuver a quilt underneath a domestic machine, it's important to either roll or scrunch that fabric up and to make sure the excess is supported. Whether you throw part of it over your shoulder, that of course can get very heavy. I've seen different clamp systems that are rigged to a bar above the machine to lift some of the weight of that quilt, and that will relieve some of the stress. Other than that, take it in short sessions, especially if you have back problems. Set a timer, walk away from the machine, do something that is different, moving your body to stay relaxed, and then, you know, just general fitness, stretching, doing a little bit of exercise throughout the day will keep you in tip-top shape so that you can have many, many more sessions of free motion quilting in your future. Thank you so much for joining me. That's all I have to share today, but I will be back tomorrow with another doodle sketch design for our Sketch-tember daily free motion practice for the month of September. Have a good night. Happy quilting.